As a means to inspire, guide, and provide valuable information and direction to women who are aspiring to commence their journey to real estate investing, LearnHub Institute hosted the Women, Wealth, and Real Estate Conference to champion the cause of women's participation in real estate investing and wealth creation. The focus of the event, which is to afford women access to ownership, saw industry experts speak on how to change the state of play and reset the paradigm. Speaking on the current state of the market, paradigms, and opportunities to help women in Africa change the state of play, at a panel discussion where Uzo Oshogwe, CEO Afriland Properties PLC, Mercy Amina, CEO First Fiduciary, Omorisola Ekpaye, CEO K Packwood Properties Services, while the session was moderated by Sheyi Showale, Executive Director at Purple.
In the last 10 years, we've seen quite an evolution in terms of asset classes. We are seeing, even in residential, we are seeing different classes such as student hostels. You're seeing in industrial, you're seeing data centers. It might be beyond the reach of the individual investors, but these are the classes that are available. You're seeing distribution centers, you're seeing warehousing, you're seeing in the retail space, of course, you're seeing retail malls and the large investments. But you can see that evolution has evolved from when we could only just think of houses and 2-bedroom flats and 5-bedroom townhouse to actually more commercially driven real estate investments.
Okay, thank you, Marisola. That will go to my question to Mercy. Over the period, right, what factors you will say that drive or limit women that's giving rise to this ownership imbalance in real estate?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think Toyi alluded to that in her presentation. But what I would like to say is we need to make a distinction between, okay, so maybe there's not so much of a distinction, but it's about ownership. So you look at a real estate investment. Do you want to own the building? Do you want to own that structure? Or do you want to own the structure and probably use it for investment purposes, just like Tony gave all the examples? Or do you want to invest? Do you want to have a fraction? Do you want to work with other people, like co-own with other people you have for rental, you have for lease? So the real estate investment bucket is not just, I mean, you could look at it from an ownership perspective, and you could also look at it from, in quotes, an investment perspective. So I think we need to make that distinction very, very clear.
Mary Amina, CEO First Fiduciary, also spoke to the importance of a conference such as this to the women fold.
It's such a pleasure to be here with Tosin and her team and putting up this Women, Wealth and Real Estate Conference. And I think it's really critical that as women, we start taking ownership of investment assets as normal. We don't have to get somebody to, how will I put it, get somebody to consent to it or to tell us that, to validate it for us. I think as women, we have to, those stereotypes that we have as against, I cannot be seen to be having assets, having properties, probably because my husband isn't having so much of it, or I have to really be very calm about talking about the fact that as a spouse, what are you doing for me, or how are you protecting my interests? Are you protecting my children's interests? What are those things that you are doing to ensure that I am protected if anything happens to you? We find that a lot of women just have those stereotypes where they just keep telling you, we are praying. There's always the religious angle that comes into it. So I think a conference like this just brings to fore what we need to do as women, why we need to be intentional, why we need to be why we need to think about collaborating with other people, why we need to use the tools that are available to us. Now practically with the tools available, technology that is available across all platforms, we don't have to do so much. All we have to do is put in a bit of research, talk to circles, like women circles such as this. Talk with other friends, talk with other acquaintances. What are they doing? How are they viewing these issues?
Jamila Faniyi, Managing Director, M&E Kesa Limited, Setha B. Manake, Founder Director, Vantage Properties, and Folakemi Fadaunsi, Executive Director, ProWatt Investment Company Limited, also at a panel session spoke on the ABCs of real estate investing, understanding the blue and red ocean principles. The session was moderated by Deborah Omarua.
You need land to do everything. Everything. So everybody, as long as you're living and breathing in this world, you definitely need land as an input to whatever it is that you want to do. So yeah, I just wanted us to go back to that very basic point and just to underscore what she had said.
Investing in real estate, I believe, this question is more from the point of view of an individual, right, rather than a company. Okay, so, if you're starting out and you're starting early, in your early 20s or mid-20s, you still have a bit of opportunity to do trial and error, right? But if you're starting your investments and you've already crossed 40, if this is your first investment, my first advice to you is don't go alone. Don't go alone. Don't go and put your money in any investment all by yourself. Join an investment club, join a group. I'm part of an investment club myself. Join a group of investors so that you are not putting all your money at risk, and get advice. That's the first thing in managing cash.
Speaking with Web TV, Folakemi Fadaunsi, Executive Director, ProWatt Investment Company Limited, spoke on the role of real estate investment trust and the importance of investment clubs for beginners.
I would always advise anyone trying to start out investing in real estate to not go alone. Listen, don't just go ahead and put your money in real estate without getting adequate support. So one of the ways you can get adequate support is to join an investment group. Join an investment club. Okay, you can think of starting one, but when there are some already existing, there's no point going through all the hassle of trying to start one afresh. As part of a group, you can get financial advice, you can get legal advice, you can get the advice of trustees, all the parties required, brokers, whoever you require, because you are going together with a group. So the first step towards maximizing everything you may have learned today is to join an investment group.
Tosin Ajase, founding partner at Deal HQ Partners, in her speech addressed portfolio sustainability for growth and how women can strategically position themselves in the real estate industry for wealth creation.
So as women, we don't just buy because they are selling. There's Taiwo here, she's a real estate broker. She sells land. So we're not just going to buy from Taiwo because of sentiment or because, we just want to make investment. The first thing is, what's your why? So a few things. Can we move on my slides, please? So there are many reasons why people can choose to want to explore real estate investing. I'm about a number of things. You cannot be wealthy if you don't have real estate within your investment pool. It's not possible. So that's why today is important. So what are the reasons why we would choose to invest in real estate? I'll talk about a few of them. The first one is, for some people, is for primary income, meaning that you want to live off what you're earning from real estate. My father today lives on his rent. That's primarily what he lives on. So at the beginning of every year, he's calculating how much is going to come in. And then he's calling me and saying, have you written the letters to the tenants? When is the money coming in? So primarily, my dad lives on his rental income. So that may be the reason why you want to invest in real estate, because you want returns, which is your primary income. Some other people would want to invest in real estate because of capital appreciation. So you want to lock down your money so that you can get returns over a long time. That's one reason. A third one could be self-use. So you want to save yourself that money you spend on rent every year, whether for your office, for your home, or whatever. You want to save that money. So you want to buy real estate where you own it and then you use it, and then you can block that hole that you, in your income, in your expenditure. that you spend on rent every year. That's one other reason. Another one is you may be looking for passive or alternative income. So for some of us, we're always looking for, all these motivational speakers are always telling us that we should look for, what's the word again? Multiple streams of income. So for this class of people, they already have a primary, source of income, but you want to augment with some other revenue stream. So that's one other reason. For some other people, it's financial freedom. You want to ring fence yourself and your family against, is it Shakpa? Yes. So you want to ring fence yourself and your family. No, that one is Jackpa. So this, I think Shakpa is this? Sorry. So you just want to ring fence against poverty. I think that's what it means. You want to ring fence yourself against poverty. So you want to live a certain quality of life. And you know that for you to do that, you need sustainable source of income. So that's one reason, or rather another reason. One could be estate planning. The Bible says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. Forgive me if you're not a Christian, but I'm sure that there is an equivalent in every religion. So you want to bequeath something to your children or your dependents. And so it could be for that reason. Sometimes it's investment diversification. So when Mrs. Sunny was talking, she was saying to us that family was heavily invested in the stock market. And that at some point, they decided that they were going to diversify and that she was lucky she did it before the global meltdown. So that could be one other reason why you are looking to real estate. Another reason could be for it to be an inflation hedge. Today, I've heard a lot of people talk about the fact that real estate is illiquid. That could be a disadvantage, but it could also be an advantage because it protects the assets from the immediate impact of inflation. So if you're looking for something that you can use to hedge inflation, our friend is your friend.
The conference also witnessed housing stock parade and an auction session, which was carried out by Northcote Real Estate.
Do I hear 35? Do I hear 35? We need to pass on this. I wish we didn't. I wish we didn't. Are you about to say something? I can't hear you if words don't come out. Yes, we do have that window, and we'll also send you this document as a way to help your clients make the right decision. Okay, you're on the phone. Do we wait for you? So, madam, you said? Oh, yes. It depends on who comes in first. Yes, please. 35. We have 35. This was why I woke up this morning. I can't, 35. But, can we have 35.5? So glad I'm here today. 35 million. Going once, going twice to the lady in black. Who else is in black? Who else is in black? Black is a good color. Even if you don't spend money, it's still a good color. Going twice to the lady in black and sold at 35 million to the lady in black.
Wrapping up the event was a speech from Jumoke Akinwumi, Chairman, Purple Group, who spoke on women's commitment to investment and the need to create tailored products for women in real estate investing.
So to start with, I wasn't here at the beginning, but I connected from the beginning, and I just want to see a show of hands, everyone here and people who are still on virtually, who agrees that this has been engaging as much as it has been educating. Okay, so my math is not too bad. I would say we have at least 70% of people agreeing with me, and I can't tell how many people online. So now, the next question I'm going to ask, I just want to hear a resounding yes to what I'm about to say. Okay? It must not end here. Yes! Okay, so that means that you have made a commitment without a Bible or a Quran in your hand and your other hand lifted, that you're going to do your own little bit to make this, not this nice, pretty, once a year event, but to make sure that you and your tribe, you drag your tribe along to make a difference, not only in your lives and in your communities, but actually in other communities as well. So before we start about what are they going to be expecting me to do, don't panic. During the, I've heard many people quote, so I have my own little one that I am going to start with. But it happened during the pandemic. So if you were not in the middle of the pandemic, so if you were not in healthcare or logistics, you kind of were feeling a little left out. This is when I thought, why didn't I invest in that lab? You know, that kind of thinking. So I came across something and I tweaked it and I want to share it with you. If I cannot do great things right away, I can do small things in great ways. So each one of us is going to do a small thing in a great way. And by the time we put it all together, we'll be doing a great thing. Is that a yes? Okay.
So I think fundamentally, we're in an environment, and it's not a local problem, it's actually global, where a lot of women are disenfranchised in whether it's in acquisition of property or even in terms of education and corporate opportunities to rise up the property ladder in the real estate sector. The biggest issues, especially within Africa and even more specifically locally, is the issues of culture and tradition, and those things that make it impossible for a woman to be a property owner. The solutions to that obviously also exist, and that's why when we start to have conversations about joining up into clubs and cooperatives and fractional ownerships, those are the windows that are more readily available to a woman. In many ways, it's more helpful because, first of all, the woman is not going on this adventure by herself. She's going alongside a number of other people. And also, clearly, she's sharing risks with others. So that also helps in terms of managing the process of ownership. I think that a forum like this creates the opportunity for us to really determine to make the difference and to open up in the way we would like to describe it is to democratize access to real estate for women.
Speaking with Web TV, Tosin Ajase also spoke to the quality of presentations and the values acquired from the conference.
I think that we had a very solid outing. The quality of women was amazing. The fact that they came ready to bare their hearts and give their all is also super amazing. I'm sure that anyone who attended the conference would tell you they learned a lot. They got a lot of gems. We've been energized, we've been encouraged, and we've been provided with information, guidance, and direction on how to actually start our journey to wealth creation. So I'm very excited. We had Mrs. Toyin Sani, we have Mrs. Jumoke Akinwumi, we had people like Deborah Omerua, Chinwe, Ajene Sagna. It doesn't get any better than that. We had Setebe Maliki, we had Tilda Mwai from the UAE and all of that. I think we had a fantastic lineup of leading African women in real estate, and they came here ready to bare their hearts to the people and to encourage us to start this journey towards achieving gender parity in wealth creation. So I'm really very excited.
Real estate investment has been described as a good portfolio diversifier. While the statistics of women in real estate investments in Nigeria have been said to be less than 10%, there is no better time than now to encourage women and provide valuable information and direction to women to investing in real estate.